Hello everybody, this is Fanny. How are you today? I hope you're having a great day, great holidays. This is my holiday hack for you guys with an amazing session that I've prepared and many things that I've been wanting to tell you and stories. See, I have 5 pages here written, so it's gonna be a long one. But it's gonna be worth it. Stories about my favorite topic in the universe, magic and masterminds. So I'm gonna talk to you about my story with my mentors, Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, show you some paintings that I'm creating for them right now and I'm about to go send for Christmas, and some books as well. Maybe read some extracts. Have Manifest Destiny here, the Kybalion, Secrets, the Enigma of Machu Picchu, Revelations of the Future, the Chinese Prophecies, and Life Force from Tony Robbins. I'm not gonna read all of them, I just have them here. I was like, I'm gonna read an extract. Actually, I should have my other trainings and books there in my office, but it's okay because I have enough already to tell you to complete, and you will go get the other books if you're if you want. But okay, how did it started? This is a story that probably everybody wants to hear, and I never really talked about it. But when I discovered Dean Graziosi in 2018 and Tony Robbins, like they were talking, and it was like, at first I met Dean and he was talking, and I don't know, it was like everything he was saying, the mindset, the masterminds, the reunion, the gathering, the way they were saying things, it was resonating so much with me. And I was like, oh my God, it's like they're in my head. That's crazy. It's everything I believe in. And so from a day to another, I was like, hey guys, it's me, I'm here, you know, I've been looking for these guys forever, you know, and now we're together. I'm all in, guys, how do we get in, you know? So from a day to another, you know, I started telling everybody on Facebook, hey, me and my best friend in Graziosi, we're gonna write a book together, you know. Next thing you know, they have this crazy lady who shows up at the World Summit, tells the security guards, you know, that I'm one of the speakers for the events, just so they could let me in, and I could go deliver some paintings and meet them. Next thing you know, I'm not on the list, so they kick me out, they take a picture of my idea. I'm super scared, but I'm like, you know what? At least now, they know who I am. So, this is how it started. But it works because, you know, I'm still here and I'm still part of the group, and I'm still actually super enthusiastic and painting for them, so it works. So keep texting, guys. Yes, I want to introduce those paintings, and I want to thank you in a more serious note for your patience and the support along the years. It's not just a transition about taking you to your next level, it's forever. It's a friendship that, you know, that can resist everything, you know. The good days, we're cheering each other up. The bad days, then maybe sometimes we fight. But it's out of so much trust and loyalty that nothing can break that. It's like a child, you know, when he comes out of, my child, when he comes out of the school, is super amazing with his teachers, is super amazing with everybody. He gets into the car after 1 second, literally after 5 seconds, he starts to scream at me, Mommy, you didn't bring me a snack, Mommy, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I'm doing everything for you, I'm coming to pick you up, I'm taking you somewhere after, blah, 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 and you're here yelling at me. And then I realize it's because we are their reference points, you know. The mother is the person that the child trusts the most in the entire world, so he can release his feelings. It's like a catharsis, right? So it doesn't mean he doesn't love you, it's the opposite. He loves you so much that he can surrender their trust completely. And I really feel that I'm grateful for that, because, you know, like 3 days before the full moon, I turned into a werewolf, and then we sometimes it goes really crazy, and you know, emotions in life are so strong. Sometimes excitement and so much love when this community, we met each other, that we did not know really how to handle it sometimes, and so much frustration and anger other days that, you know, we get to be people's punching balls, but they are so amazing that they're able to transmute all that into progress, evolution, mindset. I always say they're like trees. You know, the trees, they take your carbon dioxide and they convert it into oxygen. This is what they do, Dean and Tony Robbins. They are transmuting our energy. They're alchemists, they're magicians. And by the way, magic wands do exist, okay? Let me bring the myth here to life. How do you think I attracted these people in my life? With my magic wand. Does it mean I never had to work and every door was open for me? Not at all. Trust me, it's not at all. I've been knocking at many doors and that were closed, and I've been frustrated. I've been trying to do partnerships with people and it was never good enough, and I tried to find jobs and it was never the right place and stuff like that. But you know what? I realized that all these years I was building articles, I was doing my master's degree thesis, I was making videos, masterminds. Nobody was buying my masterminds. I mean, hundreds of videos talking about my painting and masterminds. Nobody bought it. And some days I was just like years without a paycheck, or one time I would have a big contract for the children's hospital, or I would sell a couple of paintings that helped me like keep going, but not enough to make a living. And as a mother and depending on someone, and the frustration, you can't imagine. But now I realize it's been years, and I'm like, but maybe I was, okay, I was trying to build my business, but maybe I was building my resume, my portfolio, because now when I have a client, someone who's interested into the art, all I have to do is send a link. Hey, check out this mastermind. Hey, here's the link, you have all the information. Or someone wants to do a workshop with me. If I'm available, great. If I'm not available, hey, you can learn, you have everything on my website. It's just a link, please recommend me. I'm looking for a job, now I can show, hey, these are all the articles that I wrote. These are all the people I've been stalking on that are my invisible partners, you know? But that we created this amazing community and new ways to talk and dialogue online, and that are very efficient because it ripples at the massive scales. It branches out like a tree, you know? So this is not nothing. This was, you know, on my worst day, I'm full of frustrations because I feel like I didn't do good enough. And some other days I'm like, well, I'm damn proud of myself because despite being challenged all the time, I still created amazing content that now I'm going to be able to reuse and offer to everybody for the rest of my life, no matter way. Maybe it's going to be something part of a mastermind, maybe it's going to be free on my website, maybe it's going to be published. My books, I have about 10 travel ebooks on my website. Hopefully one day this will be published as well, but they're ready. So this is the little advice for you to not give up and reference everything. This is one of my advice, to reference everything that you do, because it adds up, and one day you have this amazing portfolio and gallery to show. And I was just sending resumes this week, and I realized, I was like, oh my God, like if this is the right job for you, you realize that absolutely everything that you've done in your life was serving for that. So a little day of hope today, but so there is a lot more I want to say, but first, before we really start, I would like to do a blessing for Dean's baby, Dean and Lisa's baby, Vida, who was born in October, I believe, and I've been doing a painting for Vida that is called Paradise. Sorry. Paradise. Yes, it's beautiful. I will explain in a minute, but I want to read the little text and do a blessing for you guys and for the baby. Okay, pay this angel a tribute. Okay, so it's called Paradise. Here, I'm actually going to put the painting and read. Can you see it? Okay. Once upon a time, there was a land of paradise. A king and his queen were welcoming a new light in the family, a sacred flame in the clan. They were the most cherished soul. Sorry for my English. They were the most cherished soul in the history of the universe. The baby daughter loved her journey to Earth. In her mother's womb, it was warm, soft, and calm. She could still hear the music of the stars and the beat of two hearts, wondering what life would be like. What experiences would this world bring to her soul, and how would she shine upon? She couldn't wait to hug her parents, and the world was waiting, impatient, to meet her. We were all eyes and ears until she was born, absolutely perfect and cute. Her angels, of course, were present. The Lord of Life gave her incredible luck and health. Her parents gave her strength, beauty, and gentle power. Her sister shared her grace, and her brother, playfulness. The little one, his protective arms. They received blessings from everyone who loved them, infinite happiness. Then 3 fairies came. The first one gifted her with a voice, the music, the rhythm of the heart. Another offered compassion and kindness. And the third fairy gifted her with the word, the wisdom, shiny prose and colors. Looking at her, all we could want is to love each other. This baby was bringing peace, love, and harmony to all those who could watch her grow in this divine place. And if you're waiting for a wicked twist that is not happening in this story, I'd like to see a child who's just lucky to be gorgeous and happy, embracing the lasagna out of it. Good vibes only for this lady. The light in the night, the stars in our eyes, the future is now. Yes, I wish you the best with your beautiful baby. I hope you will put this in your beautiful farm or in her room, wherever you want. But look at these frames. I'm going to take advantage to make a little commercial for Art2Frames. Art2Frames in New York City. I order all my frames there. This is rustic. This is very, very amazing quality. And yes, this is my little shout out to Dean, because, you know, he's always the one who's understanding people, who's cheering on us. But this is our time now to cheer on him. You know, he's got so much, his companies, his family, and he's still there for us every day, in the good and the bad days. So for this, I'm very grateful. And, you know, I want to say also, like, literally, the guy is incredible. Like, you always win, always anticipates the most. You think he's going to be busy, but he's already planned the most amazing trainings for you, so you're never left alone. You know, I'm, you know, so admirative of you, and you're my model, and I wish I could become more like you every day, and if I would be proud of myself. So one thing that my friends tell me, you know, when I talk, that's why I don't talk a lot about it, because this is all subtle communication, but it's also many friends, when I talk about my trainings in marketing and stuff, you know, sometimes they tell me, oh, but these guys, they're marketing professionals, you know, they're using strategies to make you feel important or understood, so you buy their products, you know, they don't care about you, all they want is your money. And I'm like, yes, of course they're marketing professionals. They, thank God they know, you know, how to make their product feel that you can't miss this, you know. And I'm like, yes, I want to buy it. I'm actually upset if I'm not in the trainings, you know. But then I'm like, thank God there's people who tell you what you want to hear. Thank God there's people who tell you to follow your dreams, and even when it's difficult, even when it's hard, even when no one believes, even when there's no hope, there is always something. The universe always gets you back. There's always something that comes up, you know. And when you should be playing safe, you know, but you have someone who tells you to follow your dream, because there is this little spark within you that wants to become a burning fire. So if you're just, you have this part of you and then you have this other part of you that like, oh, I should be playing safe, you know. And if you have your other friends that are like, no, you know, you need to be responsible. And yes, you need to be responsible. This is true. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be in trouble. But I'm glad that so many times I listened to Dean and I kept going through the disappointment, through the challenges, because now I have such, if I would stop everything tomorrow, everything's available on my website, everything's there, I have my collection, I've built my legacy, my knowledge, I took it, extracted from my brain, I put it online, so making space for more expansion, more knowledge. I love that. So this is the magic, you know, attracting my tribe, attracting these people in my life, being able to create that. Yes, when I met them, when I started my masterminds last year or 2 years ago, the first Metatrons I recorded 2021 or 2020, I thought within 6 months, you know, I was like, oh, in 6 months I'm going to be all set, my business is going to start rolling. And now it's a year and a half, and sometimes it takes longer, but keep going. You see, now I have an oracle, so I'm specialist in symbols, cultural symbols around the world. I created this beautiful oracle. Oh, it's not open, but you have lots of my cards in there. Trying to you have lots of the cards in there, so for inspiration every day. Yeah. Okay, and I'm reading my notes at the same time. Nothing, you know, when you really need or want something, nothing can stop you. Synchronicities appear, but they appear on the way, but you need to learn to recognize them and to trust your intuition. Okay, so sorry, that's weird. Okay, yeah, well protected, beautiful oracle, published by US Game Systems. All right, okay, let's pull one card and then I'm going to explain the painting. Hello. Yes, you see, I was talking about synchronicities on the way. The other day, I was really at the end. I didn't have any money. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I had to go find whatever job. I was ready to go work at McDonald's, literally, because I just needed money to go sell my car. And I'm driving on the side of the road, and I see a car. I call and ended up talking to the guy that is really nice. We become friends, and he buys me a painting. And I make him a custom painting just like this one, with the Mason sign on it, and he loved it. And then he's ordering me another painting. So this was on my most desperate day, you know, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. The universe, there's always this synchronicity right there on the side of the road. But if I didn't listen to my intuition, I would have passed right by it, you know. So this is why I organize all this training, so you can learn to recognize the signs and be more divinely guided and confident in your life. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about this beautiful painting. What is the symbol? What is the symbol that you see here? Whoa. So I was reading the Kabbalion, and even Leonardo da Vinci uses the square and the circle in a different construction, but this is the symbol of Hermeticism, the initiates. You've probably heard the initiates and the temple of Egypt, you know, initiation, all this stuff. And I added a heart in the middle and wings, because Dean always says, you know, you have to jump and fly, wings on the way down, you know, and the angel wings and the elevation of the soul, and it symbolizes a lot, you know, a little soul landing on earth, but also the rise, you know, of the soul, of the spirit. It's got many, many symbolism. So I added the heart in it because when I read those Kybalion or the Tablets of Emerald, it always, you know, talks kind of about the elitist point of view, you know, oh, the people who are initiates and, you know, the power, kind of disregard the little people or the ones who are not making the efforts to know and everything. But as I always say, you don't know what you don't know. You can be blaming people who don't know that they don't know. You know, of course you have to be curious and make your own research. For me, I was passionate about this stuff since I was born. Like I was 5 years old, I was already reading books about UFOs. Like my grandma, she's like, oh, I'm gonna buy you a book. And I had like white magic, UFOs, mysteries of the paranormal activities. Like that was my library when I was like, as soon as I could start reading, 7 years old, 9 years old. So I've always been curious about this. But if you're raised in a family where you've never been even in contact with it, you don't even know that exists, you can blame people for not knowing that. So you have to share the knowledge and open it in ways that are simple. And this is why I do all these in very simple designs and very childish almost. I was criticized that my collections were too childish, but this is the point of showing it through the purity of the eyes and showing people that also, even if they're not super good at drawing, they can create art as well. Okay, if you're not good at drawing a tree, you can draw a circle, you can draw a triangle. This is easy. You see, it took me more time. It took me more time to paint that flower right here than the entire rest of the painting. You see? And this is like, you see that? You see the little shade effect right here of the plant? Like this is a little shade, like right here, the flower. Here there's a little dark spot on the flower that looks like kind of a shadow. Yeah, that's my style. It's like this was very difficult for me. It took me maybe, yeah, more to paint that flower that looked kind of realistic. So it looks kind of realistic than the rest of the painting that is symbolic. So see my flowers, there's just little dots as well because I don't know how to paint flowers. So you have to use your weakness and turn them into your originality, something different. Okay, so I put the heart in the middle to add more heart into this initiate stuff and knowledge stuff. Okay, let me read a small extract. Give me a number of page 13. Page 13. Page 13. According to the teachings, the passage of this book to those ready for the instruction will attract the attention of such as are prepared to receive the teaching. And likewise, when the pupil is ready to receive the truth, then will this little book come to him or her. Such is the law, the hermetic principle of cause and effect. In its aspect of the law of attraction, will bring lips and ears together, pupil and book in company. So mote it be. I don't know what it means. Wow, exactly what I was saying. So if you're reading this, you see, you should read the Kybalion. It's still a lot of great philosophy and the simple fact to ask yourself questions and to try to improve yourself and get better in harmony of others is already a great step, you know, for society. All right, there was a point that I want to talk about. Why do we have to be better and how to beat depression? I want you to understand this image. You can remember that. It's very easy to understand why sometimes you follow the trainings of the masterminds. Tony Robbins, you hear him, it's like, yeah, let's go, you can do this. You know, he's transmuting your emotions and you're like, oh my God, I'm so pumped up. Yes, he's so right. I'm not as bad as I thought. I'm actually really good, empowered and everything. And you're there, right? So you're following a training and you're there. And the day after, you're like, wait, where am I going to start? Where, blah, blah, you know, it's too difficult. Or a week later, you're like, oh, and now everybody forgot about me anyways, blah, 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 blah. And you're starting to lower again you know, and you're like, oh yeah, you see, that doesn't work, or that's what I read on the comments sometimes. Yeah, doesn't work. Yeah, it's like you're learning a language. You go to one language class and that's it. You're perfectly fluent for the rest of your life. No, it's like you practice every day. It's like cooking. It's like everything. Your mindset, first off, you need repetition. But also, when you make a jump in consciousness, or a quantum leap, or whatever you call it, when you raise in consciousness, so imagine you're right here. This is your body and your soul. You agree that we have a body and we have a spirit that animates the body. So you have your body and your soul, and you elevate in consciousness, but the body is heavier. You agree, right? That if I'm telling you, close your eyes right now. Close your eyes and visualize yourself in Machu Picchu, or in this painting I just showed you, in this beautiful prairie of grass and mountains. Oh, look, there is Dean over there. He's doing his little video, like he's talking to his phone there all by himself. Let's go say hi to him. Okay, you can visualize that you're right there. And he's like, oh no, she's stalking me again. Anyways, you can reopen your eyes. You've been traveling. You see, just by closing your eyes, your spirit can travel really fast. You can be anywhere that you want right now. Okay? So your body cannot travel that fast. You still need to take a car, a plane, or a spaceship, whatever your ways of transportation is. The body is a little heavier, so it travels a little slower, and it's the same when it's raising in frequency. Okay? So if you're right there, this is going to lift the body up, but slowly, and the body on the other side is going to try to hang on to it. So their adjustment is not going to be super easy. No, the adjustment is going to be, and then they're trying to adjust in frequency. So even though you were here, now you're back to here. That you're going to practice again your mindset, or do an activity that you love, like painting or watching a mastermind or running, whatever lifts you up. You're going to go back up, and it's going to adjust again, and up, and it's going to adjust again. So yeah, of course, doing activities that stimulate the body as well will help. Okay, but it's just to explain you that during this gap, and this gap is the depression, because it's the body saying, oh my God, my mind is already there in my goals, in my purpose. Oh my God, I'm already there in New York City, and my body, but look, oh my God. So this gap right there is what is depression, is anxiety, because it's an empty gap that the spirits, whatever is in the collective, is going to get filled up in it. Okay, so if you're surrounded by super positive people, joyful people, you see, every time I never call anybody. I'm kind of a solitary, but when people call me, then I'm like, oh, that was so nice to talk together. Actually, I feel better. You know, we feel each other's energy. So filling this gap with positivity and stuff is what's gonna help you, because something's gonna fill the gap. Something's gonna fill it. If you don't fill it with something positive, it's gonna be the stress of the energy, something that's in the air, the neighbors. And you know how I can prove this? And I want to make a special for the animals right now, because the animals are our catalyst. You know, all of my animals, I've been taking my own anxiety. You know, when I've been through the only time I'm never sick. The only time I was really, really sick is in 2019 when I had my pneumonia. When I had my pneumonia, because I really felt like I was stabbed in the back. Lots of stuff were happening at the same time. It was a huge shock for me, stuff I wasn't expecting. Really crazy things, and many, not just one thing. Someone, you know, divorce, heartbroken, or no, many things all at the same time. Stab. 1 month later, I got a pneumonia, and so did my son. Besides that, the little anxiety of every day, the stress, the frustration, the things that we don't really see physically, they manifest, okay? And they manifest in your body. And if you have animals around you, the animals love us so much. They love us so much that are catalysts. They come into our life to take that from you. Or even if they don't, that this is what they do. Okay, my Dusty, he was my protector. He was always right next to me. And he had a growing, I don't know, it started like a little beauty mark thing, but that thing started growing over the years, right? And it felt like something inflating, and dark inflating. And I really felt like, oh my God, that's anxiety, or that's something that's manifesting on his face, because I don't know. And then I realized that he had kidney failure. He exploded from the inside, and I was feeling like I wanted to explode from within. He was taking that from me. He was always next to me. He was protecting me so much that he died from it. My other cat, Nikita, when I got to the US, same thing. She had always had anxiety, you know, and she died from a poisoning in her guts. When Dusty died, Peanut was Dusty's best friend, right? Peanut was so happy. He loved Dusty. He was never sick. Peanut has never been sick. I don't think I even ever took him to the vet, except when he ate. Anyways, but as soon as Dusty died, Peanut started getting sick. Peanut started having like urinary tract infections, acne, like same growth on his thing, just like Dusty had on his face. And this is when I understood. I'm like, oh my God, now Peanut is taking this. Peanut is the catalyst now. Now Dusty's gone. He's taking all my energy, my anxiety, and he's taking all the symptoms. My skin has never been as beautiful. I'm as healthy as I've ever been in my life. You know, but the cat is taking it all from me. So I need to find a way. I know I am protected. I know I'm surrounded by crystals, by things that protect my energy, but I need to find a way to calm myself down, and protect the entire house, protect the cat, so the cat doesn't take that from me. And it can be your children, it can be your best friend, or you know, when you call a person and you're just like releasing all your stress on them, it's a way that you know, I feel better because it's out, but the other person is the one who's taking it. Okay, so you don't want to do that either. So this was very important to say. The karmic elements, yes, depression, adjust, body, soul, yeah. And the elements are talking to us as well, like the volcano in Hawaii. It's taking all that pressure from humans, and it's finally blowing up, and the earth is talking to us. So if you have these, I know I've been crazy when the volcano erupted, plus it was the 2 weeks before the full moon. I was crazy. Oh my God, I was a horrible person. I was angry. I couldn't control it. And I really felt all of that. And now I realized, yeah, we were connected. We are catharsis for the earth as well. And both ways. Okay, so it's important to know about this connection. Okay, and then I want to talk about, where is it? Yes. The challenges and these hardships, you know, that sometimes they say, you know, you have to go through hardships to become to grow, to become stronger, to become a better person. I don't think you have to go through hardship to be grateful. When I moved into this house, I was so grateful. I was like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to be here. I'm so lucky. I'm by my pool. I can't believe I'm so lucky. Oh my God, what did I do to deserve my dream home? You know, perfect marriage, being at the pool. I get to do amazing art, do what I love. I have the most healthy child. I was really grateful. I was so grateful every day. And still, I was still wanting to go to my next level. I would still wonder, what's next for me? Is that it I can do with my career? Can I do bigger things in the world? You know, and when I started asking myself this question, this is when everything else started to degrade, because you had to disconstruct your life so it can be rebuilt in a new way. Because in this certain pattern, I had this little perfection bubble that couldn't go, that was a parallel life that couldn't go to another level. And it had to, the persons that were in it, I don't know, it's just, I guess it's what I'm telling myself to convince myself of a better future, right? Otherwise I'll be like, oh my God, deconstruct, to rebuild, and hire and better and expand new people, new aspirations, motivations, and stuff like that. So I didn't need to go through challenges to become strong. I didn't want that. I was already strong. I didn't want to become stronger. It's not my favorite part of me. I prefer when I'm kind and funny. I love that part of myself, when I'm relaxed and kind. I don't like when I'm, fighting and stuff. But at the same time, you have to stand for some stuff in the world. But these things happened, okay? So whether I wanted it or not, it happened. I did not really have a choice. And in those times, this is when I had my community, I had the masterminds that I could count on them every day, and they never made me feel like I was less, they empower me every day. So yeah, I'm grateful. And I want to say also that, something about respect, because when I was married to a Navy chief, and I was the Frenchie who just was working at embassies and stuff, there was respect. Everywhere I go, I was always invited. I was always respected. All my friends, they were like, oh my God, you're so lucky, blah, blah. The day I lost all that, the respect changes. Yeah, you're not the people, you're not that much invited anymore. When you ask for favors, at the dentist or whatever, you're crazy. And I really noticed that. And I was like, wow, that's crazy that this is a side of life I've never seen. Maybe I needed to see that to understand what people are really going through. But yeah, they never allowed me. Yes, we played. Yeah, they played me a little sometimes, but they never allowed me to give up. And this I would never forget. And maybe if none of this had happened, I would have never had met Dean. If all of this crazy struggle happened, I would have never met my best friend in the history of the world. So in some way, it had to be. One of the things that he uses and that helped me a lot is the story of a one-woman show. When he's like, there was this one woman who wants to do a comedy show, but she's practicing. She goes to bars, she goes to places, there's nobody, or people are booing her and stuff like that. But she keeps going. She goes and she sees what works, what doesn't work, what impacts people, what doesn't. And this is really how I feel I was, even in my Facebook, doing these conferences, practicing. Even though sometimes I felt like no one was listening, there was always someone listening. And then it built into a bigger network. And the success tax, that helped me keep going, seeing it this way. So these were two good ones. Yeah, I was preparing. Yeah, and for this practice and this level of acceptations, I'm writing in my encyclopedia about the 5 levels of acceptation, because you have to repeat the message many times so it becomes normalcy. Okay? Yeah, there is only one like you, and this is why the world needs you. Seriously, I'm so grateful. So I wanted to tell you that I'm gonna send you this. I hope you receive it. I love you, you and your family. You guys are amazing. And the whole mastermind team, Lisa, Russell, Tony, all of you are inspiring our lives every day. Thank you for your patience, your commitments. Yeah, and the painting also, that's something that I recommend you, if you want to learn to paint that, you can go on my website, pachamama.org, to learn the technique and paint things like that. Even if they look really simple, it shows you that in every field of life, you can create something. And also something that I wanted to add is that there's nothing you cannot put on the mastermind platform. Everybody should record their skills, because it becomes the legacy. And I was thinking, the other day I was driving and I was seeing these guys who build the houses. These guys have the most difficult and important job. there. He's here on his ladder, he's fixing the isolation stuff on the wall of the house. It's like a horrible job. Like, honestly, it's difficult. They're on top of the roof all day, putting nails and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, and is this even like recognized? Do we even have like an amazing paycheck, you know, to thank them for bringing home and roofs over our heads? Because if we didn't have those guys, there would be no houses. There would be new houses. Every time you want a house, you would have to wait for a year or two before it happens, you know? So if someone is amazing at building houses, or I'm thinking of Matthias, who was building this dome in Argentina, and I was like, man, he needs to make a mastermind. He needs to get the plans, right? The construction papers, and upload that online so people all around the world can build that. Because if we people then don't do that, then we're thousands of years later, we're still wondering how the guys built the pyramids, because they didn't put their thing on mastermind.com, right? And now we're like, how did the Inca put these rocks there? And we're here trying to remember. But it's important that if you have something extraordinary, that you put it. And the anti-gravity formula that we build up together, I do believe that it's messages from the connections from us from the future, okay, who brought this even to the Egyptians. So nowadays we could become aware of the technology, the possibilities, so we can avoid these Wall-E type of scenarios when there is metal and stuff all around the earth and completely destroyed. There's no hope that we need to go live on another planet. Thankfully, they left clues in Egypt, in Machu Picchu, in the books, and now with the technology, we're able to bring all the knowledge back together, so we can go faster and build these spaceships, these clean energy spaceships, so we don't have to use fuel and oil anymore. The oil is the blood of the earth. Okay, so if we keep digging oil, there's earthquake. What do you do if you're losing too much blood? Your body is defibrillating, okay? So it's the same with the earth. If you take all the earth, the oil of the earth, it's defibrillating. And this is then when you have like volcanoes and eruptions or earthquakes and stuff like that. Everything is related. So yeah, we are family. Now as we're in a... Yeah, the marketing, the personal development business team, encouraging you to believe in yourself, giving you the tactics to become better, faster, stronger, but also a global movement. Yes. If you stay in the long run, you decide to join the game, you're going to start to see it everywhere. It's true. It's everywhere. You're going to start seeing that everybody is in this community, developing these social relationships. And also there is no competition. Okay, when you have a language, you learn it in every school. When you have mathematics, you're learning in every school. The art in every school. So when you make a new discovery, be excited if it's learned in every school as well, because it means that the new knowledge, the new mindset is evolving and is spreading all around the world like a giant wave. So this is beautiful. Yes, you see, so I'm going to show you extracts from 3 books. Okay, The Manifest Destiny. I thought that was funny because I opened it on that page. I am a conscious creator. And look, it's like planets that are used as like a parachute with someone. And just yesterday, there was NASA Orion's mission that was landing back in the Pacific Ocean. And the Navy was there to help them collect the debris and stuff. So there is evolution in the partnerships, in the mindfulness of the environment. So this is beautiful, a cool book that I'm going to start to use that in 2022 as my journals, because all my other journals are full. And as a family, yeah, I have written, see my values here, my key values: loyalty, trust, love, values, and friendship. Yeah, I could have wrote my encyclopedia, but maybe not as profound if I found, you know, my community and stuff. And this is why I always say that I want Tony Robbins to run for president in 2024. So this is another painting that I'm painting for him. I'm gonna send right now. Okay, so you see it's called Mirror, Mirror, and you have the 2 Americas. in the mirror, symbolizing the future that we're, the near future, the things we're starting to create now, right? And it symbolizes the prophecy of Pachacuti, right? The two Americas, the kingdom of the north and the kingdom of the south, that are coming together, because when the condor and the eagle will fly together, then the world will know peace. Okay, so the condor represents the wisdom, the medicine, the shamanic medicine traditions, the legacy from the land, the connection to Pachamama. And the eagle represents the North America, the power, the strategies, the technology, all of that. Of course, not stereotypes. We have both of each. There is wisdom in America, there is, but the symbolism, right, of the two worlds merging together, when the wisdom and the engineering can merge, this is when it becomes incredible, because the technology is put to the service of the environment and vice versa. The environment provides. The environment provides food for us, everything for us. So why wouldn't it provide the energy as well? The world was created for us. Okay, so yeah, so let's read a little bit of the enigma of Machu Picchu as we're talking about the world of the condor. I met this author in 2010 after my first visit to Machu Picchu, coming back, and he was there in this little library at the airport, and he sold me his book, The Enigma of Machu Picchu. I don't know, I marked a page here, so let me read that part. So it's talking about how he thinks that there are still Incas in the Andes, of course the descendants, but that they are hidden and they are able to travel right between the world. There is these theories that when the Spanish came, the Incas, there's many theories. The theory is that when the Spanish came, in the 1572, something like that, the last Incas took a portal and went away. Okay, it's because they disappeared. We don't know what happened to them. Other theories says that they killed each other, even the Incas, because they were also very territorial. You know, they were warriors. The Incas, the Mayans, yeah, sacrifice, all that. They were very spiritual and knowledgeable. They were also some, you know, real forest guys. You know, so they're talking that they're looking for the Incas. He says, the truth is that I'm very confused, Don Amedeo. I said, history tells us that the Incas never got as far as the jungle. Nevertheless, I know that in the rainforest every year an Inca comes to visit the native communities. An Inca, you said? In what part of the rainforest? In Ucuyali. I enthusiastically responded, between Pajonal and the Tahuanilla area. Sorry, it's Franglish, Spanglish. There's even the English. There even is talk about a lost city as big as Machu Picchu, which is hidden under the vegetation. Ah, explained the old man. Machu Picchu. Ask my father to tell you about how he discovered Machu Picchu years before this gringo, Iran Bingham, who came and took its treasures away. Is it true? Yes, sir, it's true, approved the old man as he looked off into the horizon. It was in 1908, 3 years before this grave digger gringo came. I was only 8. My father had died and my mother was working for a deaf man called Rolandville, a rich landlord in those times. He owned great extensions of land here in La Convención. He had hundreds of workers, servants and women. He was the lord of the area and had so much power that he could afford to feed a whole military detachment in Cusco. And how did you get to discover the ruins? This time the old man looked at the water's depth, as if to remember. Then he slowly started to speak his harmonious Quechua, which Carmelina very efficiently translated to the details. Okay, so I was interrupted, but then I was like, oh my God, I want to know. I'm going straight to the end. I read this book, but I didn't remember anything. I just realized that I need to read it again. So he was going to say about the place of Machu Picchu. And so now I'm at the end and he says, apparently he's in trouble, right? So he's talking about how he starts to work with the government, right? The Peruvian government. And he said, it's opened the perspective for my future. I said, why not stay with the Incas and write a book and get rich? So with this plan in mind, I worked hard up to the point of making myself indispensable. I gained the Incas' confidence. Then one day he asked me to stay on to coordinate his communication systems. I became important within the organization. What happened? Did you betray him? No. I don't understand then. At night, in secret, I started to write my book. In one of the chapters, I was revealing the coordinates of Uku Cusco, the Inca's secret city. I also revealed everything which had to do with their organization and the plans they had to reappear on the political scene. Did you manage to publish the book? No. I didn't know they had installed a double video observation system throughout the base, so the magic eye of a miniature camera caught me as I was writing in my bedroom every night. A super system, blah, blah, blah. So what betrayed me was the fact that I never talked about my writing, and I would always do it late at night. If I had done it during the day as part of my work, he wouldn't have suspected anything. Was that sufficient to fall into disgrace? They accused me of being a spy. The new Tawantinsuyo's war council condemned me to maximum sentence, which was then commuted to life imprisonment. Yeah, and it says worse because during life imprisonment, one dies many times every day, slowly. And the book, they destroyed it. They don't want it publicly. They're very private. I don't know what your case is, but you're here. My advice will be very useful to you when they don't bring you food anymore. May I suggest that you save your energy? We have a long time ahead to talk about this subject. Don't be fooled, my friends. I won't be here long. At that moment, steps were heard in the corridor. The German was terrified. He mumbled, "Get ready, they're coming to get you. Tell them what they want to know, otherwise they'll pull your skin off. Confess, my friend." The doors opened, the light penetrated inside the cell. It clouded my sight. My eyes burned. Taking into account what the prisoner had told me, I walked toward the door, ready to face destiny. 2 robbers' guards appeared. One of them extended a tray to me, then firmly shut the door. My depressed state prevented me from moving. Once again, we were in total darkness. Blah, 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 blah. As long as you're alive, there's hope. So drink the hot soup. A short silence followed. And then he eats the soup. I don't know, some parts are kind of... What's going on? I don't get it. Okay, so he's revealing... Okay, let's take another page right in the middle. I'm gonna do... Lots of gold. The Koya wants me to have this gift. So I guess this is when he arrives to the city. She always makes me see its flame so that I can gather it near the big rock. Once I started to dig but got scared. My father always said that any gold which has been buried produces antimony, which can kill you, and then the demon takes possession of the gold. I'm afraid that something happens to me, just like Mr. who kept the gold. The idol has... Wow, that's interesting. So, okay, sorry guys, this was a bad reading because I forgot about the book. But first off, that's funny because nowadays you have to write books, right? And here they were like trying to keep secrets. But also in Egypt, you know, there was this thing that said that the tombs had been cursed and protected, and that the people who would come into the tomb, who discovered one of the tombs, all the team who came in died after the following year, right? Because of accidents or whatever, or sickness and stuff like that. So you see, there is always this sacred thing around the knowledge, this sacred mystery, these things, kind of also maybe stories to scare the people, you know, to leave this, to stay away. But isn't it like the crocodiles in Egypt? You know, maybe see who's brave enough, you know, to brave these stories and actually seek for the truth. The crocodiles in Egypt during the initiation, they were putting a crocodile, they were feeding a crocodile and putting him in the waters, and then the initiate had to go dive in the water and find an underwater door, right, to get in and pass the way, but they didn't know the crocodiles had been fed. So it was like, how much faith and strength and courage do you have to go in there? That was just the leap of faith, right? Cross the symbolism of the crossing the threshold. So I think there is a lot of that has been put in those legends and prophecies and symbol esoteric things, that is all those scary things around it that people are like, oh no, I got nothing to do with this, to see who's actually curious to know about the truth and to know what it's really about. And then the magical wonderland, you know, appears. So yes, and one more, the revelation of the future. This is by Natalie Chintanavich. We were talking about this theory, so this is really a theory that I have, that, you know, we're right about to do time traveling, right? We discovered that the wormholes that are in the universe, they could actually be portals that takes you to different places in time, not necessarily in space, but in time. So you feel like nothing happened, you're still at the same place, like in Sliders, the movie, the parallel worlds. So then imagine the scenario, Wall-E scenario. The Earth is completely full of junk, we have to flee humanity, and what is the only solution that we have to recover the Earth at that point is to change the past. Okay, don't even worry about your future and building new stuff. It's to discover those time portals, to change the past. They go to these time portals, they go back all the way to Egypt, because they realize that we're very stubborn, and the 5 stages of acceptation don't take a month, but they take maybe 10,000 years, right? So they go back all the way to ancient Egypt. They leave clues. You have helicopters in the hieroglyphs. You have all these kind of technologies, the Ankh by Nikola Tesla and stuff like that. The circuit, the free energy, all this stuff, the machines that they found, you know, superpower device, machine, regeneration chambers and stuff. Bring in all that, so we can have clues. So nowadays, with the creation of the internet, we can exponentially putting all these pieces together, so we can right away adapt our technology. Right now is the charter point, because SpaceX, Virgin Atlantic, NASA, Space Force, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. They're starting to space. We don't even know how to have our own planet, environment friendly, and our own technology here, that we're already going to start polluting, invading, exploring the universe. So I think before we even launch all these missions, we should create clean devices, okay, that we don't need to use so much fuel to launch so much combustions, because the air, we breathe all that. So this is right now, because before we invest billions of dollars into these rockets and these machines, that we need to implement, start completely new ships. And then it's going to go, once you have the formula, everybody can apply it. And then we can go anywhere in space. It's going to go really fast. It's really going to. But I believe that. I believe that we are the people from the future. You know, that the ancient were venerated like gods, you know, and we're wondering now who it is. Who are these people from the future? That's you. Even when you rewrite the Tablets of Emerald that Thoth was writing, you're like, oh my god, there's stories about us in there. It's great. It's like he's here watching, and then he's writing there in his back then. So now we can twist our mind a little bit more, like life is not complicated enough. So anyways, okay, let me do a total new page. Give me a number. 117. Okay, 117. Let's see. Okay, first thing I read. Ne subissez pas vos systèmes. How do you say that in English? Don't be passive about your systems. Choose them. Co-create them. Okay. If everybody makes this effort, you will augment the chances to see the future generations grow under a peaceful sky and a peaceful and reassuring sky. It's by action right now that you can take the reins of your life. Okay, don't be passive with your systems. Choose them, co-create them. When you will learn to respect your environment and the world that surrounds you every day of your existence, then you can efficiently dig the energy that you need in the same world, because you cannot run out of these resources, right? It's crazy. It's literally exactly what I was saying. It's like, you see, I was remote reading the book. I was remote reading exactly. I already knew. My consciousness was already in this timeline. I already was reading it without my eyes. You see, this is crazy. Consider your body like an element that is a part of the whole. This whole, is your humanity and your planet. When you establish this link with your planet, with the natural elements and the organic substance that are present all around you, then you reinforce your capacity to generate your own creative energy. This is a circle that constantly produces more life energy. You become energetically autonomous when you have understood that nothing exteriors can stop the progress of or stop the flow of your vital force, of your life force in your physical body. You become autonomous energetically when you respect the life that surrounds you, and your action follow your words and your thoughts. Yeah, drink a lot of water, because in these times of change, your body has more and more need of circulating those energies, right? So I recommend also the art crystals from the Resonance Science Foundation. I don't have it, but I know that they're super good to reprogram the water in your body. So you see, it's crazy. You see how everything, a way or another, see, even the book about that, I thought that was funny, because I will have to reread it, okay, even though that's kind of a weird scenes, but everything reconnects together, and this is really what we're experiencing at the global level. So I'm so grateful for that. This is just the beginning. Let's remember that. And yeah, I wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Let's finish with another card from my oracle. Hibiscus. See, it's a fire letter actually from Natalie Cintanavich, the author that the book I'm reading right now. The symbols are fire letters, right? The little hooks to cleanse, okay? To cleanse the water in your body. And the hibiscus here, this is a cleansing card, okay? Hibiscus tea, what it does, it cleans your body, improves the immune system and all of that. The plant medicine, once again, right? The association of the plant medicine and the technology, all of it. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Tony Robbins. Thank you, everybody who's watching, friends, partners, you know, for creating this, being those guides and light for me, for everybody. You have the power to heal people in a second. Some people call it weakness. Yeah, some people call it weakness to depend on others like that. And I call it surrender to the power of love and kindness. You're the best. Have a great Christmas. Love you guys and see you soon.